What's up YouTube, it's K.D.M Sports back again with more content this coming weekend. We got UFC 302 in New Jersey. I've already shared my opinion on the Islam Makhachev vs Dustin Poirier matchup that's happening in the main event in a previous video. Dustin's last chance at an undisputed title. Can he do it? This would be a career-defining moment in the storied career of Dustin Poirier. Today though, I want to shine some light on the co-main between former middleweight champion Strickland versus former middleweight title challenger Paulo the Eraser Costa. Both are very entertaining fighters. The fans love both fighters in terms of fighting and their personalities outside of the octagon. The tail of the tape has Strickland standing at 6'1" with a 76-inch reach. Paulo Costa stands at 6'1" as well, but with only a 72-inch reach. Out of these two, I'd have to say Paulo Costa is a more dynamic fighter of the two. He will at times be flashy and change things up, but the problem is Strickland keeps a consistent pace and never changes for the most part from round 1 onwards into round 5. The one big criticism I have for is the front kicks he utilized in the Izzy fight, which helped him become champion and beat arguably the GOAT at middleweight. He utilized the same technique in the Dricus fight for just the first round, where he had the most success in that fight. The front kicks were pretty much non-existent after the first round of that title fight. And I feel like with a fighter who loves to use a boxing-heavy approach with his exceptional active jab, paired with those front kicks that made him a champion, it just complements him altogether as a fighter with that additional skill set of using the front kicks. Fights best going forward and applying pressure. The general consensus is that should win. I'd have to also agree, because activity and the experiences he's went through, also reaching the mountaintop and capturing a UFC title, Costa isn't as active as a UFC fighter and simply hasn't shown championship material levels since early on in his UFC career. In some ways, it feels like Costa is pissing away his career. At one point in time, Costa was viewed as possibly a future UFC champion. From what Paulo has shown in the cage, even though his fight with Rob was a barn burner and he showcased his power and dynamic ability with his kicks, I just don't believe Paulo will win this one. The boxing and output of is too much on its own, along with his defense, and if he does utilize those effective front kicks, it will make covering the distance for Paulo much more difficult. If Paulo can start going jab for jab with and make it a fight, he'd have a much better chance. But letting establish his range and operate, it's just going to be hard to stop once he gets in a zone. Paulo just doesn't have an active and effective enough jab to really go jab for jab with Strickland. So will start to pick him apart. Paulo won't have much success in the grappling, because although he can grapple, he isn't known as an elite offensive grappler, and Sean's grappling defense is high level. Judging from what we've seen in past fights of both fighters, has just shown more consistency in his fights, along with sticking with what works for him. Doesn't overcomplicate things. His striking is not really diverse, but it's almost like a simple toolbox type of approach when he fights. Stylistically, you'd have to give probably a unanimous decision victory in this one. Straightforward strikes down the middle beats looping strikes, along with having great defense with his Philly shell. Has been stopped by a wheel kick before, a long time ago, and the Philly shell or any boxing type of defense definitely isn't the way to go when it comes to defending head kicks, but has made his unique style work in MMA. Paulo can always be dangerous and unpredictable, but the safe bet would be Strickland defending his #1 contender spot and earning a comfortable decision. Paulo has his ups and downs in fights, whereas consistently fights at the same pace for 5 rounds, a true 5-round fighter. By unanimous decision is my pick, but I believe it will be a fairly entertaining fight with in control majority of the fight. Thank you guys for listening to me talk and share my opinion on another exciting matchup in the UFC. As always, make sure to comment, subscribe, like, and share. Till next time.